Hi everybody, this is Melinda Fleckenstein and welcome to my reflection assignment number 6 for AEP 873, Google in Education. So for my exploration stage, when I began this course, I felt pretty comfortable with Google apps and tools. I've been using them for quite a while. My school is a Google school, or I call it kind of a Google school. We are one-to-one with Chromebooks, and the students and the teachers use many Google apps on a daily basis. This is actually my last course before my practicum to get my master's in instructional technology. So I thought this course would be relatively simple with the way school is right now, just something that I could finish up with. I did want to learn more about the various Google apps that were presented in this course and how I could use those, the knowledge that I learned to help my fellow teachers. So the explanation stage then, the setup and the format of the course was very similar to previous FHSU graduate courses with using Google Currents and discussions and assignments. So that went pretty smoothly. I didn't have any problems with that. One thing that I did learn that I was not expecting to learn was about the history of Google. I didn't really know that about Google. I learned their philosophy and their mission, and I really enjoyed doing that. I also learned that collaboration is a big part of Google, and I learned various ways to collaborate using many different Google apps. I was leery of the group project as I began working through that. I was kind of scared of that because I would prefer to work on my own, at my own pace, on my own time. But my group was great. They did an awesome job. Everybody contributed well, and I learned a lot from that. I was also nervous for the Level 1 Google Educator exam, but with a little bit of studying, I was able to pass that with ease. So the conjecture stage. As I stated before, I was pretty comfortable, or I felt pretty comfortable with using many of the Google apps and tools, but I wanted to learn more about how I could use them for collaboration, not only with my students, but with fellow staff members as well, and be able to collaborate amongst us as teachers and students with them. So therefore, then I have the ISTE standard here for students 7B. The students need to be able to use many digital tools to work with others, whether that be peers or experts, in order to evaluate and examine problems. I see this as a big deal right now, especially where some schools are having to go to remote learning. They need to be able to work collaboratively using digital tools, because that's what we're having to use and that's what we have access to often. So then the analysis stage. Before diving deeper into any idea or concept, I feel we must know our why and therefore our reasons for doing it. And that's what I thought a lot about as I was doing this. So as I stated before, I was very nervous for our group project in this course, but that's what I wanted out of this course, was to learn how to collaborate and how to use these tools for collaboration. So I actually found that assignment to be one of the most beneficial. My group was great at completing the various parts of the project. So not only did I learn how to use various Google apps for collaboration, but I learned a lot about organization, leadership, and delegation of small parts to complete the larger project. And I feel this is something that I can definitely take back to my students to help them to become better collaborators in group projects. Many of my students are like me. They'd rather just work on their own so that they know that everything is completed. But in learning how to do this, I think this is an experience I can definitely use to help my students to become better collaborators. So the final stage then is synthesis. So as with all of my Fort Hays graduate courses, I have learned a lot and created many projects that I can take back to use in my own classroom. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about these classes is we don't do assignments and create projects just for busy work. They are things that we can use directly and immediately within our classrooms. So my biggest takeaway is the ability to use multiple Google apps for collaboration among students and with fellow staff members. I had actually never used Google Sites before, but in learning more about it, I am able to use it to connect with both students and their parents, and it will be a great way to link student projects for viewing by their peers and parents, so that the students are able to look at each other's projects, even if we can't necessarily do specific presentations, if we do have to go to remote learning, but the parents also are able to see student projects as they complete them. So I feel this can be used to increase student engagement and learning no matter where they are, whether they're in school, in person, or through remote learning. So also with the synthesis stage, I had another takeaway from this course that I really enjoyed, and that was the ability to successfully pass the Level 1 Google Educator exam. I hadn't really thought about doing this before. I honestly, it had not crossed my mind, but I'm glad that we had the chance to try that, and I'm glad that I did choose that. I can now use my knowledge to continue to help my students and fellow staff members. I'm even looking to continue learning more about Google and begin to work on my Level 2 certification and possibly become a Google trainer. I think it would be really interesting and fun, especially where I'm getting my master's in instructional technology. I think that would be beneficial. So my final standard here, ISTE standard, is for educators to be, and therefore I feel that I am a leader within my district, and I'm working to obtain technology for all students and staff, and I'm doing this by learning more about Google. This also helps to create digital and differentiated lessons to provide learning opportunities for all students. It allows us to, no matter where we are, whether we're in person or remote, it allows us to provide all kinds of learning opportunities for students. So my final slide here is just a credit to Slides Carnival, where I found the template for this slide and for the ISTE standard. So thank you for watching my presentation, and I really enjoyed working with all of you in this course.